Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name's Dina. Thanks to everybody for joining. Let's take a moment, set our energies and intentions for a reading to clear up any guidance, provide any confirmations that you need. Breathe deep. Welcome. So today I've got a few decks of cards already pre-shuffled and they were already busy talking. So I'm going to get right into it today, except for one thing. Yesterday's message was talking something about the prophet, the wise one versus the false idols. And one of the things that I missed until this morning when I got back into my meditation was that one of the elements of the channeling was about all people have this center, these seeds of awakening within themselves, but certain individuals, those seeds are suppressed for one reason or another, as we know. But one of the things that was stepping forward to be shown was the way that many of us, even if we're highly enlightened, there are aspects of ourselves that we dismiss the grace and the beauty and the skill and the nuance of who and how and why we are here on purpose. And the whole element of self-expression came through yesterday. But where we're getting into this message today, the stepping off point before I did these pre-shuffles, was talking about how certain people can project their goodness, their grace, their skills onto other individuals or their intentions. And so, for better or worse, if your intentions are good, you're going to often believe that many people are doing good until and through the choice of, unless it switches to believing that based on some type of evidence or experience to the contrary, we might become veiled and redirected to believe that most individuals are out for their best interest until they come to their own conclusions, right? So there's a few cards here speaking to our innocence, and I think that we're talking about in those first couple moments the differences between somebody being open and spontaneous of heart space and accepting, feeling automatically connected and that sense of belonging to the tribe and to others and having an open heart versus the jaded essence of, after having experienced to the contrary of what the divine unity consciousness, the love essence is. And so the card that was really talking to me was from this archetypal deck, the card of the lover. It has this swan with this golden sphere right under the crook of its beak and neck at the top here, and it's kind of got its wings up and back, and then it's just got this golden illumination just lit up all around it, stemming from that golden sphere at the throat. And so the lover card is like those of us who have come to clear our energy to allow for ourselves to be the cosmic divine lover. Now that could take many, many millions of different renditions, but we are here, some of us, to get back to our divine essence and then share that forward. And so many experiences have come to us so that we could heal through them, and I saw this post this morning talking about certain people say that trauma makes you stronger. It doesn't. It creates hypervigilance. It creates a shot nervous system, constant stress, hormone release, and cortisol addiction behaviors, and fight, flight, freeze, and digestive issues. Yes, it does all of those things, but it also creates a lot of compassion. I think that the disconnect between health and healing versus trauma response perpetuation is the level to which we've met the self and been able to understand how to move beyond it. Because when we sit in the cycle, when we can't move beyond it, then yes, it does create that response pattern. But it is for us to somehow take back the power And we're not going to talk about that too much today. That's the stepping off point of where we're coming here. So in the first few decks, let's do it in order. We had the archetypal deck where I was hoping that the lover card would pop out, and I may reshuffle some of them. The one that came out was the Orphan, number 5. And this to me was talking immediately about the sense of self abandonment. And in context of the lover, this is where instead of being open, honest, loving, and authentic, we become guarded, hyper vigilant, skeptical. There's this other word that I'm searching for here, to be like suspicious and intolerant, and um, whether we see ourselves as becoming victimized or martyred or something like this, many people can also kind of get stuck in that cycle of other people playing power and control dynamics with them as the victim or martyr, always overcoming. And to a certain extent, that is part of the life cycle for many who have had this trauma response. So, with the orphan coming up, with the ideas surrounding the trauma response, I do believe that yes, while all of those things are true, we aren't put here to suffer. And so, when we stay in evidence of the suffering, yesterday was all about the algorithm, then we set ourselves up in that cosmic order innocently, subconsciously, to resurface and resurface until we can grow beyond the moment. They say that we are sometimes caught in the significant traumas, the biggest trauma of our past, and then emotionally or some other way, we may not pass that emotional maturity point. We stay stuck. And so this is taking our mind and our power and our healing back from victimization, perhaps, because the orphan talks about, while it flipped out, there was this song, I cannot remember who did it, but it's on my alternative beats Rising Appalachia channel, where it could be Yaima, it could be a few others, but anyways, it was talking about boy, if you want to go, I would not mind, but I'm not the kind of drum you play one time. And it's real sultry, sensual song. And as it's going, I'm in the moment. I'm like, yeah, I love the beats. One moment. That was weird. I wasn't sure, but there may have been a predator, aerial predator, come swooping down towards the chickens. And yeah, I hope that that has resolved itself. But so I lost where I was at, but we get the gist of where we're going with this. So I want to show you under the deck, and if anything else wants to come up for us, we'll give voice to those as they come. So directly under the deck, and it was kind of, I really like looking at the ones that are showing themselves peeking out when I have a huge stack, because the names will speak to me as well. And it tells little chunks of different side conversations, if you will, because as you know, life is not simple and straightforward. We have a myriad of situations going on for ourselves at any given moment. And so various themes are going to be showing. So directly under, we have the river, the cave, and the maiden. Again, with the maiden showing the youthful eternal child, with the orphan, and then over here we have innocence. I'll show you in a moment. So the river of life as the flow of the world, and the cave has the dual meaning of the cave can be the comfort zone. It can also, there's an ancient idea about it was a study or something where individuals were put a um, into captivity in a cave type situation where they were made to face the wall, and then there were different light shows that they might kind of put on where it was just shadows, and so the individuals had no frame of reference. And um, right now I saw there was a somewhat controversial comic showing the depiction of a Grim Reaper holding someone's head steady as they just stared at the TV and their cell phone, and on the TV was the glorious pill that they're peddling. And then there was a ladder going up to the surface where there was beauty and grace and miracles happening, and one individual was climbing up the ladder behind the Grim Reaper's back. So we can get our own ideas about that, that we need, that it's self-imposed limitation, and that all we need to do is consistently choose for the light, consistently choose to unplug from whatever algorithm is at work or at play on our psyche, in our minds, and to take things back and put them in right order. We need to balance out the time and attention and energy that we place towards any vibrational specific. And music is one of the prime ways, as well as being with nature and working with the breath and the body movement and momentum. And music is a great way to get yourself up and moving, like some type of ecstatic dance where you're just, letting yourself bend and flow. It's like that parkour training where people are bending and shifting and rolling. That's kind of the way I envision ecstatic dance, like just letting the body move, and it creates the ability for different muscles to move the way they're intended, which isn't like, you know what I'm saying? It's not all high and tight. It's like messy, it's wild, it's wilderness, it's chaos, because chaos is what creates. Oh, yes, and that takes me directly to the next. So directly under that, I don't take reversals in this, but I saw these three popping out where we have the mentor. So you as your own mentor, perhaps, obscuring the comic, which is for me sometimes the Heyoka empath, the one that wears the mask of, hey, everything's all right, making everybody laugh while your inner suffering is still going on. And Anima Mundi, talking about the abundant universe and our ability to lay to rest any, and Thanatos wants to be seen here, this web. So wanting us to lay to rest any situation that doesn't serve. And so laying aside and only utilizing the skill aspect of the comic without obscuring and spiritually bypassing the path that it took you to get there, and the truth behind it, that yes, our nervous systems are perhaps still somewhat compromised, but evidence your healing in your statements about yourself. That's what Saint Germain, the great ascended master, teaches, is that what we speak and feel and believe is the becoming. And so do you want to be the mask, or do you want to be the mentor? Place an end to things and put them in proper order. Let yourself flow back into the cave when it's necessary to rest and repair, but use your time intentionally. And when you drift off course, have the wherewithal to bring it back, because the maiden is out there, the innocence is out there, impressionable, being influenced, pure of essence, and the river wants to continue to help you to wash away what doesn't serve, and to continue to be renewed and rush towards the ocean and the sea. So the big pile at the bottom now has many coming out. I'm seeing the creator, the shaman, the forest, the heart, the desert, the vision, and the shapeshifter. So I'll show you this way. So what I'm getting off of this is that, yeah, we're having a heart upgrade, getting back to the innocence of the heart for sure. I apologize for the road noise about to happen. We have some popping out here. But our ability to shapeshift and move beyond the circumstance within the forest, to get wild in the heart, and to grow, to create, to co-create and shapeshift our life within the forest, within the darkness, perhaps, because the darkness is what it's all about. So we have the healer that flipped off in a little pile of its own, and three here with vision, the riddle, and the underworld. Oh my gosh. To me, that's a magical combination. I don't know if you're getting the same essence off that. So, okay. the vision, your vision for life is based upon unraveling some type of karmic knots in your life to advance and level up through the underworld. So this nasty experience, the trauma that has come to pass, is ultimately compost for the soil so that we can grow the seeds that we intend through our vision. So our vision is almost only made possible by our experiences unraveling the knots, because it gives us the divine essence and understanding of the sickness. And I'm getting the energy or idea behind immunization vaccines. I mean, not to bring up a topic that some will have opinions about, but in the base, it's like using some of the snake venom as the anti-venom. It carries the poison in the medicine. So having been previously poisoned to certain things, such as sicknesses and disease, certain things we build an immunity to, and then we learn our way out of the pattern. We unlearn and reprogram, and then we are divinely inspired to hold the portal of healing open for others who would come through. We are the divine shamans and co-creators with spirit to help others towards the light, out of the darkness of the forest. So as a healer, oh my gosh, we have agape, which is that unconditional, beautiful, innocent love, divine love. The mother, yes, you are a healer of that unconditional Mother Gaia love. The fault line, you can see beyond people's faults. It's probably gotten you in trouble in the past because you wanted to have that unconditional love and others didn't always choose as quickly as we would want. And then we have the hunter, the gem, and the starborn. So you've been seeking the spiritual gems from your experience, and I believe you've harvested quite a few as you've been digging in your cave, solving the riddles of your underworld, digging your way out. Don't stop at the end when you're just about to push through, because being starborn means you're destined to return to the stars. So don't stay in the underworld. Don't stay victimized. It is always our choosing and our choice. And you know, I've watched some crime dramas, so I see that individuals aren't always aware of their ability to move beyond a circumstance. But if you're in a circumstance where you need help and assistance, call it in with your guides, and absolutely pray that you will understand and gain the vision and the spontaneous instincts to get yourself set up and removed from anything that doesn't serve, even if it's the internal process, because this life is made for connection. So the orphan is seeking connection, and potentially it's because of being trained through cycles of trauma, abuse, neglect. And so the biggest objective and goal for the soul is to reconnect the frayed ends. And so plugging into things that aren't healthy is it's a ghost cure. And plugging into true connection, utilizing things like your hobbies or time in nature to get out and supposedly, I don't know why that word came through, in order to connect with other individuals out in the world. So we've got right order popped off with innocence, and underneath we had surfacing in this next deck. So things are in the proper order, and your innocence is stepping through here. There's a lot of chaos that your innocence is able to work within, and opportunities are surfacing in your life to take back some type of um, of identity, the pure soul essence of your internal empowerment to not only survive but to thrive. You're already a survivor, and now it's time to thrive. And so there's some type of getting back to the innocent inner child, getting back to a time where you felt abandoned, neglected, and being able to, instead of reaching for the ghost medicine in the moment, to actually move forward and seek what it is at the base of the issue. So let's just tell you, before I get into this deck further, which I'm anxious to, as you can see, because I'm already shuffling it. I want to tell you what's in the code cards. I have 5 that came out, and I was shuffling this way. I don't remember where my mind was at in the reading, but several flew across, 2 of them on the ground itself. So we had 3 piles. The first one, upside down on the table closest to me, number 1, root chakra, and number 29, healing. So healing our foundational issues, our connection to our body and our environment, and to the body itself, connection to the earth. So grounding time in nature, if you can stand it, if you have the opportunity, putting your bare feet on the ground, putting your hands into some soil, going swimming might help also, because then the ion exchange. And if none of these options are available to you and all you can do is make it to the shower, cleansing in a shower or a bath, or just utilizing nature sounds on the phone, on musical compilations that are healing music, healing the body here is helping. And for many of you, you're going to possibly be working on some body goals, whether that's introducing some healthier routines, even like a healthier bedtime and waking time, healthier routine, um, cleaning up the house, cleaning up something or another, getting back to self-care and nourishing the body, cleaning the body and the environment. I know many of us are beyond that, but some are, we like, for instance, my dishes always pile up. And so then having a teenager around, it's like, it always kind of becomes this whose job is it? And it's like, I believe that, the kid has to help out a little bit. And so it can be sometimes like kids, spouse, roommate, whatever it might be. Sometimes it can be so, difficult to get on top of all of the things that need done, especially in groups, because then there's this whose job is it type of a thing. And so there's something about getting back to our own inner accountability and responsibility, because whose job is it to keep ourselves nourished and fed? It's our own. And how do we actually move beyond survival into thriving? We start to nourish the body and the nervous system, the digestive system. I've already talked about supplements. Um, but yeah, getting your greens and your reds, literally, with this healing. Look at this, greens and reds, folks. I'll tell you just one real quick. I've been taking cranberry and beet root in a supplement pill form, and I've also been taking liquid chlorophyll every day, and it's helping me. I can't necessarily take a lot of spirulina or chlorella because, as the blue-green algae, sometimes it's just too seafoody to me, and I do have a slight intolerance for those things. But the chlorophyll is plant-based, so for me it works really well. Um, and it helps with many things. Look it up if you're interested. The reds help with so many other things, such as your vascular. And so basically the reds and the greens are one area that are something that can be helped. But eating a rainbow of foods, fruits and vegetables on a daily basis is a good step in the right direction for any that are looking for health goals, right? We can all look at the various diets, but how sustainable are the diets? So I think that there's a bigger pattern that we're really unpacking and starting to get some good momentum in healing the body, knowing how our body responds and reacts in things, and resetting the systems, moving away from this idea of the orphan, and really understanding how we're holding the portal open, and that it's time for us to really walk hand in hand with our higher self, our inner shaman, and help others out of the underworld and towards their vision, helping them untangle the karmic knots that are keeping them sad, depressed, unhealthy, and so on. So in the center was the coherence. Number 13 is the number of death, integration, transformation. And the frequency says it supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of heart with frequency of mind for the optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Yesterday we talked about heart-mind incoherence with cognitive dissonance, and it's when they're kind of pulling in two different directions, stretching us. I think that here with this grounding time in nature, honoring the body, getting back into those, we're really understanding something on a new level of how we're co-creating this next level to walk into our shamanic capacity more fully. And the third stack was the one that popped all the way off onto the ground, solar plexus, the third chakra, and belief, number 11. And healing is also 11 too, because it's a 29. So we do have 11, 1, 13, 3, 11. So 11, 1, and 11. Interesting. 5 ones, 5 people. Might enjoy the you and 5 others reading I did. It was a 3-part reading. So underneath the deck, I'll also show that we have romantic love, which was actually what I saw first because everything was face down. And below romantic love, universal love, Merkaba, emergence, alchemy and magic, change, compassion, and third eye. Yeah, we're gaining a new perspective. We're shifting our magical capacity, our chemical composition, becoming healthier to help ourselves to be more expansive in this lover. This is the lover, expansive, universal, unified, Christ consciousness field, the Akashic field, being open and expanded and in connection with that is then our own personalized self-expression ability as the romantic and universal lover. This vestal virgin is, as I often say, it's not about being pure sexually, it's about being pure of heart and mind. It's the intention behind it. And so this is all about the cosmic divine lover here and the energy awakening within yourself to be a beacon of that divine love and to show others the way out of the forest. So, okay, our first one coming out to cover healing and root chakra. Caretaker. Absolutely. You help others to get back, connected back to their healing nature, their ability to heal themselves, to plug into nature, into their divine essence. Maybe you take people into the forest or have ideas of making a nature retreat or something such as that. There's something here about body healing, nutritional healing, physical training, breath work. And also it's come forward a couple times recently, death doula. And then I heard it again this morning in someone else's reading, where this is definitely something that individuals such as us who have spent so much time in the underworld, we understand and we have walked a foot in both realms so long that we can hold the portal open between life and death. And when we understand and are no longer afraid, we can show people the beauty of the passing so that they're not afraid of judgment or whatever else it might be, or of being abandoned, of being lied to about what's on the other side. Like, maybe it's just nothing. Maybe I'll just stop existing. People will forget me. I haven't been important enough. And we can lay that all to rest when we get to this point of being able to be the shamanic co-creator that helps wash away, to mentor other individuals to come in contact with their vision, to unpack their karma, to untangle the karmic knots, and to heal them to the unconditional love, to reconcile any faults or fears that they may have in their seeking of being the important one, the gem, connecting to their cosmic divine nature themselves. It's like we are the lover that can help that celestial. Yes, to bring it all together. This is my convergence card, celestial. We've got celestial, starborn, um, shaman, mentor, comic, which is cosmic. It's all coming together. So for coherence, we're reaching the end here. 2 cards, divinity and fearless. Did I not just say fearless? Fearless in the face of change, integration, transformation, and death. You have already walked through the valley of the shadow of death. You have already died to your own self and had those dark nights of the soul. And you're in contact with your divinity, and you're fearless. So that in the Tao, there's that reading that says, so that they've come so in contact with their inner divine nature and the divine nature of change and shifting and ever-present continuity in energy, that they no longer fear death, and they live life fully in every moment. So underneath the deck, simplicity. Yes, nothing else matters on the material realm once you've reached this level of fearlessness. So what can we clarify with solar plexus and belief? This creative self-expression and following your beliefs and helping others to connect with the cosmic divine nature and to use that as their creator essence. So you may be even holding art classes or be a teacher of children or adults, a mentor in some type of a way that's helping people connect to their inner creativity. So Phelan flipped in the deck, great with that solar plexus energy, that bright, brilliant yellow. It's very confident, alluring, sensual. We were talking about that. And faith, another beautiful yellow with the reds color from the earlier root chakra. So blending your grounded nature, grounding in your creative capacity to be deeply rooted and interconnected and belong so much that you don't fear being authentic and real and innocent, revealing the inner vulnerability here in a creative way, such as by singing, dancing, and creating any type of art, music, and so on. Under the deck, we have intuition. So that is gorgeous, folks. I hope that you were able to get some confirmations there and that you're ready and able to connect your root and get your creative essence sparked up and shown out there so that others can find you. It looks like you're going to be quite the shamanic healing individual. Have confidence. Thank you so much for joining. And until next time, take good care of yourself.